47 predictions. Interestingly enough, I'm either going to do extremely well with these predictions or extremely badly. And I'll explain the reason why is that I actually support quite a number of fighters on this card, and they are up against quite serious opponents. Opponents that on a good day, you know, stand a fair chance of winning. I'm going to go through them. I shall first start by saying I'm not at all interested in the match between Fredson, Paxeo and Courtney Buck. I'm making no prediction for that. I'll start then with Ricardo Lamas versus Bendy Casimir. Fantastic name that. Ricardo Lamas, record of 7-1. His only loss is by TKO, and he's quite well rounded in the way he wins. He has wins over the likes of Bart Palasiewski and losses to the likes of Danny Castillo, so he's up there when it comes to calibers. Now Bendy Casimir has a much better record, 19-5-2, with 12 submission wins, but he also loses by submission. He's got 3 losses there. He is on a 3-fight win streak, but his calibers are not quite the same. He has wins over Andre Winner, losses to Robbie Olivia and Lee Remedios. Interesting to note that those fighters that I mentioned there are British. So this is a European fighter, I believe, fighting in a US arena. I'm going to go for Ricardo Lamas here. I'm going to go for a win, and I'm going to go for it by submission as well. Be brave. I'll go for a bar submission in the second there. Danny Castillo is fighting Anthony Pettis. Now Danny Castillo has a record of 8-2. He's got 4 wins by submission, but all his losses are also by submission. He's coming off a loss and loses to the likes of Donald Cerrone. Now it should be noticed that he is part of a group called Alpha Male, which you will know has spawned the likes of Uriah Faber. The thing with Danny Castillo is that the calibers on his record, to me, are in doubt. He is good, but I'm not completely sure he has the caliber background. If we look at the other guy, Anthony Pettis, first of all, he's a sucker punch fighter. Second of all, his record is 8-1. Now that one is a loss to another sucker punch fighter, which happened the last time he fought. It was Bart Palasiewski. I completely disagree with the whole idea that that match should have happened. I got quite angry about it at the time, actually. And it was a loss by, I think, split decision. It was a stupid thing to happen in the first place. But there we are. Usually wins by submission. I'm going to go for Anthony Pettis here, winning, partly because I support him as a sucker punch fighter, but partly because I think I am in serious doubt over Danny Castillo in terms of the actual calibers that he's fought. So I'm going to go for Anthony Pettis. I shall go by choke submission in the second. Chad Mendes is another alpha male with a perfect record of 5, and he's quite well rounded in the way he wins. This is his debut, and there are no calibers on his record. He is fighting Eric Koch, who has a perfect record of 8 and 5 submission victories, with wins over the likes of Joe Pearson and Jamel Massou. Now, this is a perfect record. Somebody is going to lose. I do believe it's going to be Chaz Mendes, and I shall go for loss by choke submission in the third. Scott Jorgensen is fighting Chad George. Chad has a record of 11-4. He's got 6 submission wins, but 3 submission losses. Again, wins and loses both by submission. He is on a 6-fight win streak, but again, I'm doubtful. I can't see a single caliber on his record. Scott, a record of 8-3, wins by submission and decision, loses by decision, and he has fought and won over the likes of Mizugaki, Frank Gomez and Kenji Osawa. He's on a 2-fight win streak. As far as I can see, Chad might be a little bit of a canned crush despite the difference in record there. I'm going to go for Scott Jorgensen. I'll give Chad George the benefit of the doubt and I'll say that it'll be a decision victory there. Bart Palazewski is fighting Karen Darabedian. Now, Darabedian, I remember when he first came in, I didn't think much to him. And then he fought Razor Rob and won. And all of a sudden, he suddenly reveals himself to be quite something. Bart Palazewski, however, has a huge record. Under the right circumstances, a good day, Bart should win because of the knowledge that he's accumulated over his vast record. But Darabedian is not to be sniffed at, and he stands a reasonable chance on his own ground of winning should Bart make some stupid mistake. Seeing that's the case, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say I think Bart Palazewski will win, but I think it will go to decision. LC Davis is another guy who's fighting somebody else called Dividas Churas Sekovic, something like that, anyway. Now, something, again, to be noted here, I saw him the first time he entered, didn't think he was very good, and then looked at his record and thought, oh my god, he's got wins over the likes of Anthony Morrison, Makin Semizer, Bart Palazewski, Savant Young. This guy has a lot of calibers on his record, and he's beaten most of them. I would be lying if I said that this is going to be an easy fight for LC Davis. This is going to be his toughest fight, and I seriously mean that. However, I've met the guy, I've seen him train at MFS, and although he's not there anymore, I'm going to have faith in him. I'm going to say LC Davis by decision. The return of Miguel Torres, the fantastic king of the division for an extremely long time, is fighting Joseph Benavides. Joseph, again, this is a little bit like the Bart Palazewski Karen Darabedian match. Joseph Benavides is an up-and-comer and he stands a chance at winning. He has actually fought and beaten some serious calibers in recent times, Jeff Curran being one of them. Now, Miguel Torres is miles and miles ahead, having held the crown for quite some time, but he's been out a while. Miguel Torres must be on top form. If and only if will he win. If he doesn't, Joseph will win. I'm going to say that I think Miguel will pull through. He's always been exciting. I see no reason why he hasn't kept that ability up. Brian Bowles versus Dominic Cruz. You know, I think Brian Bowles is going to take this, and my real reason for thinking this is just the way in which he got the title in the first place. I could be wrong, but I'm going to predict Brian Bowles. How he wins, I don't know. Okay, and the match that means the most to me, obviously, is Jonas Pulver versus Javier Vasquez. Now, Javier is somebody who's had quite a long history. He's got a smaller record, but it's better, although he hasn't fought the same calibre of people. And he basically had quite a bad time with injuries when he was younger, during the during the late 1990s, in fact. And he's only just resurfaced. Jonas Pulver, of course, has not been doing so well recently, but he's sort of back this time, and both of them need to win, really. Pulver needs to win if he's not going to encounter more problems with, you know, institutions and people saying he should retire. And Javier is likely to be cut from the institution if he doesn't succeed here. And then, of course, he may fade away forever. Obviously, I'm going for Jonas Pulver. I don't know and I don't care how he wins, so long as he wins. Javier, you know, I'm not really impressed. He claims that he's, you know, a fan of Pulver, loves Pulver, blah, 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 blah. Then he says something like, you know, and this was on an article I read on the WEC homepage, something along the lines of, I don't want to be the person who retires him, but I think I'm bound to be, and I think I'll have to close the coffin or something like that. Horrible, 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 and I hope he pays for it.